Hello and welcome. Today, well, as you might be able to see and judge from the title, I'm talking to you about Thanatos for the ZX Spectrum. A game released for the Spectrum in 1986 and developed by Mike Richardson and published by Jarrell Software. In it you play the role of Thanatos the Destroyer, a dragon who must rescue the sorceress Eros, then take her to get her spell book and then carry her to a cauldron so she can complete a spell to bring enlightenment to the land. This is a game I had as a kid, and I absolutely loved it. I was a geeky kid, and dragons is always something I was really into. So yeah, once I saw it in magazines, it was a must-buy for me. Now, it was released in 1986, but I got it a year or two later, I suppose. And it's one of the first games I bought with my own money, but I couldn't find it in the shops anywhere, and I had to get it through mail order. I remember I had to go and get a postal order. Do you remember those? So, because I couldn't send cash in the post, it had to be a cheque or postal order, and I didn't have access to a chequebook. So yeah, I got this postal order, posted it off, waited a few weeks, and sure enough, the game came. Well, actually, it came with another game. It was a double pack of Thanatos and Saboteur 2. Saboteur 2 being the sequel to Saboteur by Clive Townsend. Two other great games also by Jarrell Software, but maybe I'll do another video on those at some point. No, Thanatos, it appealed to me because it had a big dragon character, and the sprite is impressively large for the Spectrum. And I was really taken in by the look of the game. Yes, it is very much a Spectrum looking game, but you've got some fairly impressive parallax-like scrolling, giving you a sense of distance in there. And there's a whole bunch of little details, being able to pick up the rocks and characters and drop them, kill enemies with your flames, and various other large monsters and things. I mean, yes, it does look very dated now, but when you compare it to something like Manic Miner, it's an incredibly good looking game. As for the gameplay itself, you pretty much fly left to right, although you can turn around, and you have to make your way to the castle, burn the doors of the castle down, you'll land and let Eros ride on you, and you have to fly along and do the other bits. And in this gameplay, again, I haven't played this much or to any great degree for years, and I didn't get very far. But yeah, you have to kill some enemies or avoid them, and you don't have a standard health bar. You've got 2 meters. You've got your heart, or your heartbeat, and your flame ammo, if you like, or the limit of your flame. So you need that to burn down the gates, and you can only replenish your flame by eating witches who you'll find tied to stakes who are guarded by knights. So there's a bit of a risk there in taking on the knight, because they'll get you with their great big lance if you're not careful. As for your heart or your health, basically you have a heartbeat, and if your heartbeat gets too fast, you'll get an infarction. And when Thanatos has a heart attack, he explodes. The faster you fly, the higher you'll get. The more damage you take, the higher you'll get. And you can recover by landing and walking slowly, just giving your dragon a bit of time to recover. I'd say Thanatos is the kind of game that you just wouldn't get made these days. Well, maybe you would as some sort of indie game, but it'd probably be cute and colourful and things like that. But yeah, this was more played quite sombre and straight. It has very little of the way of your usual gameplay mechanics. I mean, aside from having a health bar and things, and you've got your one objective, but you don't have to attack everything. You've just got to get from A to B. There are enemies that you will have to kill. Fighting other dragons gets quite impressive looking, as you've got 2 of these great big things on screen. But what really drew me into the game, because in many ways the gameplay itself isn't the most exciting thing. It's quite sedately paced, and you have to be quite methodical with it. But yeah, what really drew me in was basically playing this dragon, having a sense of flying, being able to fly low, pick things up and drop them. It felt to me as a, 9-10-year-old, whatever I was at the time, it felt like a dragon simulator. That's one of those games that I've always I just have really fond memories of, and even playing it now, knowing it's a bit clunky, and seeing more cracks in the game. As a kid, being used to this level of technology, it seemed really impressive. But looking back now, I still look at it fondly. I can see the positives on it. That's not to say it's a bad game in any way. It really isn't. I would say it's genuinely a good game, or certainly an interesting one anyway. I think most of the reviews, although mainly positive, did consider it to be a good but not great game. Although according to Wikipedia, the review scores it got at the time were things like 93%, 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10 or 4 out of 5, so I guess it was pretty well regarded. Maybe I was just misremembering or thinking of a budget re-release review or something. I could have sworn it got a 7 out of 10 somewhere. Anyway, like I said, it's a game I have fond memories of, and it is one of the ZX Spectrum games that stands out to me the most. or left more of a lasting impression. And it's on a system where I had hundreds and hundreds of games. They were cheap as chips. You get them on magazine covers and this, that and the other. And whether it's more memorable because it's something I bought with my own money and had to send away for, or because the game itself made an impact on me, I couldn't say. But I spent weeks playing it, getting better at it and finally beating it. And it was quite a challenge to beat because you only get one life and you can die very quickly, as you'll see from later on in this video. And in terms of length, yeah, it's quite difficult, but you also have different difficulty levels, and so in theory you've got a lot of replayability. But I do think it's very much a game that once you've managed to beat it, you've seen everything it has to offer. But as a kid, I just had a lot of fun goofing around in it, picking up these soldiers and dropping them from a great height, or dropping rocks on them, or fighting other dragons. And yeah, it's just a game that I really enjoyed, sort of dipping into the world as much as you could. But as a kid, you've got plenty of imagination. Well, my imagination took me far, and playing it again today, that really took me back. But I do wonder that for those of you who didn't grow up with the ZX Spectrum, who are maybe seeing this game for the first time now, does it stand out to you? Does it look interesting, or are you just thinking, oh my god, what is that janky crap on screen? Anyway, this is just a quickly made video. It's something I just had an idea to do. I don't know if I'm going to do many more videos like this, or maybe I might take more time to write them rather than just run my mouth as I think of things when talking about it. But yeah, it'd be interesting if a game like this, or if this game rather, would come to the Evercade. I mean, yes, I've got means to play it, but I do think it would make an interesting addition to the Evercade library. Just a very different type of game from what we usually get. And licensing wise, I don't know how possible it would be, or who even owns the rights to it now. As I said, it was published by Jarrell Software, and I believe they are still around, but they've been out of the games industry since the late 80s, I think. So do they still own it? Is it with the developer? I have no idea. Anyway, like I said, I've waffled enough. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.